So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم مدد يا سلطان الأولياء مدد يا سلطان الأنبياء مدد يا محمد مصطفى دستور يا شاه مردان يا علي يا فاطمة زهراء يا حسن يا حسين يا شاه نقشبند. Welcome to this channel. Today on water spirits, elemental spirits, jinns, but also angels, yes. Welcome to this channel that's all about mystical talisman work, from t-shirts to handwritten talismans and everything, silver engravings. But maybe we do another souvenir shop tour at another time. So what is this, how people call it, what is this jinnic realities of water spirits? Let's see how far we can get with that. I want to open this because I was discussing with one of my students who is taking the one-on-ones these things, and he actually reminded me of a like we can say hadith, right, from the times of the tabi'in, after the Prophet ﷺ, the Sahaba actually, right, because this was Khalifa to Omar, the representative of the Prophet in his time, radiallahu anhum. And there was this story with the Nile, right? Whoever from all my dear ulama, people of knowledge, scholarly people watching this channel, you can maybe drop the hadith in the comments. Would be very thankful for that. I just remember it, reading about it a few times in the past, and now my student, he was actually reminding me of it. So in his times, Omar radiallahu anhum, there was the river Nile. Yes, they conquered the Egypt, and there was the Nile, right? And in 1 year, the Nile wasn't flooding. So the Amir of, and this is, I'm just paraphrasing, yes? So also if there is any correction to be made, forgive me and drop it in the comments. The Amir of the interesting how Omar is connected to the word Amir, I just realized, right? And Amrullah. Anyhow, maybe that's for another video. The river Nile didn't flood, so the Amir of Cairo, he sent a letter to Omar al-Khattab, radiallahu anhum. Actually, I have to watch this series. So many people said, oh, you have to watch the series on Omar al-Khattab. I never watched it. Anyhow, usually not a big fan of movies. Anyhow, he sent the letter to the Khalifa, yeah? The successor of the Prophet, and then the Omar wrote a letter back, but not to the Amir, to the river Nile. And then he said, yes, put it into the river Nile. And he said, in the name, I don't know what is written on the river, on the letter, but Bismillah ar-Rahim, I am the representative, the Khalifa, and I ask you, or even I command you to flood. They put it into the river and the river flooded. Yes. This we can call a talisman. My people. Oh, ayyuhal hadirun. Like people ask me, what are these talismans? And then please check the video also in the link description about the banner of the Prophet. We really don't know what else was written on that letter. Yes. As many things due to scholarly and people try to hide things. Those who were working for some sultans, for some emirs, yes, who just thought of power. Maybe we can call them the Yazidis. Anyhow, we don't want to go too deep in that. They want to try to hide a certain knowledge. Yes, even I just remind of this hadith. Even Abu Huraira, who was so long time with the Prophet ﷺ, like closest to the Prophet, or one of the closest. Yeah. After the Prophet died, people asked him, "Oh, what can you tell us about the Prophet?" And he said, "If I told you everything, you would cut my head." So even certain knowledge wasn't prepared for them. For example, also, this is the Jawshan Kabir, there is an amazing prayer. It was kept secret, and only to a certain people kept secret, until Imam Jafar Sadiq published it, because he had the dream of the Prophet ﷺ. Now it's time to let the people know. Yes. And then we have the Jawshan Kabir. And we come to the point where we say, follow the heart. There's also the hadith, follow the heart. Yes. Anyhow, this is for everyone to decide on their own. Yes. I'm just putting certain things out there. I mean, writing a letter to a river. Nowadays, you would go into some kind of a place where they keep certain people, right? Why I'm saying this? I made a video many years ago about a certain program. It is reciting, I think, 19,000 Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, blowing it on kernels like date seeds or other seeds. I would also say tonka seeds are very interesting, or nutmeg seeds. You can use all different seeds. All the seeds, they have a certain spirit. The tree, now I heard, for example, the tonka tree, if interestingly, if lightning hits it, it doesn't hit the tree, but some other tree next to it. So it's actually the ruhaniyat of that tree is to reflect energies. Yes. So tonka seeds may be the update for today to use them. Yes, so you blow on them and then you go to a river or a creek, or in the Sir al-Jalil by Imam Shadili, which we use in our courses, it is set to a ditch. So actually there doesn't even have to be water, but with water much more powerful. You blow on them 19,000 times Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, you go to the ditch and you say, "O Allah, and O servants of this verse of Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil," they are 19 letters. The servants who serve that verse, stop. This is like to break magic, to break suppression. Stop so and so from doing such and such. Very powerful, especially then if you combine it with certain astrological timings. All the things I teach in the pre-recorded online courses, just check the whole description if you're interested in more details. And we have this, so there is Allah, the angels working through that. At the same time, these kernels are present for that river there. And the river has a own spirit, a ruhaniyat. And then there are different hierarchy of that spirits, right? So you have the jinn, the the simple spirits, yes, of that river. Then you have like small ones, a lot of them. Also angelic in there, right? Because every leaf, every drop of water, every atom has an angel also inside, right? So they are the small ones. Then I had another video on egregores. The whole river is like an egregore. So there is a big spirit about it, which is controlling the other ones, right? In the case of Omar ibn al-Khattab, Omar was addressing that one, right? The egregore of the Nile, yes, which has, by Allah's permission, a certain power over its realm, right? So for them, and this is why also in the ancient times, many cultures have misunderstood them as gods. And sometimes, yeah, this is a little bit of an observation. Yeah, it's a tricky thing, yes. This is why we need the knowledge, how it works. To move mountains, to move water, this is like 0.1% of the divine reality. This is like children's play. This is like we build as a human, a table we can build, yeah, we can build a house. This is in our power. We cannot impact the realities of a river. But these egregores, they can. Right? And then, even one level up, you have, there is the river, and then there is a whole system of rivers, right? Which are connected. So this is like, even in the Nile, this is the main one, yes? But for example, if one would work with a branch of the Nile, it would impact the Nile also, right? So there are also another hierarchy. So the main river in that area is like the king of all the other rivers. Then you can go even a step up, which is the elemental spirit of water. And we can go a little bit step between, because the Nile, for example, it opens to the Mediterranean Sea. So also the Mediterranean Sea is in a way connected to a river. Yeah. Whatever we put in the river, the energy will also spread into the ocean, right? Which is connected there. It will stay 99% in the river though. Anyhow. Otherwise, when Omar would maybe write the letter and put it in the water, maybe the whole Mediterranean would flood. This is, of course, the things are due to the intentions also, right? Yes. The elemental, the water. Water is everywhere. Water is in us. We are 90% or whatever, 80% from water, right? It's the emotions. It has impact on the emotions. So when we work with water, flowing water, it can be also a lake. It doesn't matter. These are then different manifestations. Flowing water is something. Standing water is something. A pond is something. A swamp is something. They have the different also manifestations, attributes, and reflections of the divine reality. Right? Which we can work with, which we can get to know. Knowing ourselves is knowing our Lord. To know ourselves, it's also good to know where we are, because we are the universe. And yes, so we can use it also for our prayers. Yeah? The mountains, the forests, the rivers. So many people ask me, oh, can I put it in the river? Yes, the talisman. If you write it, if you got some from someone, you put it in a river with an intention, it will first of all befriend. If it's a good talisman, like people ask me sometimes, they show me talismans, they ask me if it's good or bad. And mostly they are good. But if sometimes it's like 50-50, so one may make the intention, okay, I put it in the river with the intention, if it's like a black magical thing, it shall break. And if it's like a white magical thing, it shall even enhance. So that's if we don't know about these things, this is the way to go, right? And the river, as it is also connected to the earth is taking all of our, it's like abundant. All of the sins it's taking through centuries. That's another topic, yes. So yeah, I hope you liked it. I think that's good enough of a talk. Whoever wants a handwritten talisman or the courses can find the description in the link below. And have a good day, have a good, amazing life. Yes. See you in the next video. Salam.